TVC News senior correspondent Ivy Kanu joins me now for more. Ivy, what more can you tell us about the operations of security operatives in Lagos?
The enforcement has taken off proper, and they've passed through Iyanokpaja, Cement, Abuleba. Right now they are at the border area between Lagos and Ogun State. And so far, we are with the CP, and we would like to ask him what observed so far, because there have been people who presented some ID cards that he questioned, and he said he wasn't comfortable with the kind of ID card they presented, and also that they needed to get a letter from their employer. So let's talk with the CP now for him to assess how the enforcement exercise has been so far.
Well, thank you. The enforcement has been on. We started it in compliance with the presidential directive at 23:00 hours of yesterday, which was Monday night. We started the enforcement. So part of the directive is that there shouldn't be intra-state movements. That is from one state to another. Here we are now is the Alakoko end of Lagos State, which is the border state between Lagos and Ogun by Ota side. So you could see those many vehicles that have been stopped there not to move. As we are coming, so many vehicles are accosted. Now they presented ID cards. Accepted ID card only told us who they are, where they work. ID card did not say they are on duty to be on road on this period. The fact that you are a teacher does not mean that you have to be in the classroom every time. So the fact that you work with a telecommunication does not mean that you have to be. The fact that you are with any other organizations, so we have those in the food areas that federal government exempted. We have those in the petroleum area that federal government exempted. We have those in the banking industry that exempted. We have those in the food processing and distribution that federal government exempted. So we have those in medicals, health, federal government exempted. But are they on duty? That's the question. The fact that I'm a doctor, am I on duty? So the fact that I'm a police officer, am I on duty? Not every policeman is on duty. So the same thing, I'm a journalist, am I on duty? So in addition to the ID card they presented, ID card only told us this is Mr. A, this is Mr. B, this is Mrs. A or Mrs. B. Mr. A works in social organization, but is that Mr. A on duty to be on the road? That is the crux of it. So many of them, they have nothing to present. Even one said he runs a blood bank. He was invited, or people asking him to go and supply blood. Where is evidence to that? So it's not just enough for you to be on the road to present an ID card. And some, they went on their own now to print pass. They said COVID-19 essential duty pass. What is your duty? Essential. You are a driver. Carry passengers. There's one now is a commuter bus, public transport. They just printed that. So this is not acceptable. Any organization that the federal government has accepted, there is none that has, there is caveat attached to it. There are agencies within the state government. If you are in medical, there is Commissioner for Health, who shows that that part of medical you have now is to be on the road at a particular time. If you are medical, there are those on the record in medicals. They shouldn't be on the road.
Okay, sir, I would like to ask you, do they need to get permission from the commissioner that, like you stated, commissioner?
They have various ones they need to get to. The state government has developed so many, what do you call it now? So they have developed so many stickers that are assigned to each of the items. Each of the agencies need to move out. So those ones now, they need to link up with the state government. A committee has been set by the state government that scrutinizes all those companies that ought to be on the road. So when they are scrutinized, they say that they should be on the road now. They communicated to the police, and they have sticker. So the sticker for those on petroleum is not the same sticker for those on engineering. So the sticker for those on telecommunication, not the same sticker for those on food production, processing, distribution.
So, sir, where are they supposed to get these stickers? Where?
Oh, they liaise with the team that Lagos State government set up, so that every other agencies, every other company that have this one now will. So where they are certified to be on the road, will be communicated to we that are security agents. And with that stickers now, we have to. For example, now the French nationals have been evacuated from Nigeria today. Tomorrow, Americans are evacuating their nationals. So tomorrow, Tuesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, Americans are evacuating their nationals. And we are giving them sticker now for them to move. Because not American embassy staff alone, all Americans that are reside there. So most of them, they cover so many areas. So now that's why they couldn't move at once. So they are moving, and the sticker given to them now for them to give to the vehicles that convey them to the airport to go back to where they come from. So that is an agreed one. And we are appealing to corporate agencies that if their staff must be on the road, if they fall into the category of those to be exempted, they should try as much as possible. One, get accommodation for them nearer to their place of work. Okay. Secondly, they provide vehicle for them so that they can move in buses rather than individual vehicles. Imagine you provide a vehicle that can contain 30 staff and 30 vehicles are on the road. Imagine that long queue. So they should try as much as possible to provide vehicles for their staff, and they get pass for that bus. Even with escort, we can do that. Okay. So for them to move at once, rather than every staff now coming with a vehicle on the road. And at the same time too, if you try as much as possible, it's a financial implication anyway, try to get where they can calm them, let me use that word, where they can keep them now closer to where they are working. So in order to avoid them moving on the road, that's the advice I give to them, okay. Those advices.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's the CP, and he has given us the layout on how to get the stickers that can, help you move from one place to the other, those that are permitted to move.
All right, but Ifunanya, this is going to be a big challenge for a lot of, sorry, Ivy, sorry about that. This is going to be a big challenge for a lot of organizations, especially for people like us who have to work every single day. There are people in telecommunications, food processing who have to work every single day. So pursuing stickers and pursuing accommodation and private, company cars to get people is going to be a big challenge. So what can be done in the interim before all of that is taken care of?
Okay, they want to know, because you've suggested that they should get accommodation and, calm some of this stuff. Before then, is there anything that can, allow them to be on the road, especially for journalists?
No, why they are doing that? If you read the presidential directive, there's a caveat even to the journalists. So to those in telecommunication industry, they said they are to work at home. But those who have reasons not to work at home, those who cannot, that's the caveat. So that means that not everybody in that industry should be on the road. So the president has advised, has employed so many as possible to be. So proud to that one now. So that's proud to even giving them that sticker. Proud to them now, having accommodation for them now. We use discretionally allow them to move on the road. Because this is not an enforcement that must be done with brutality. I had the opportunity yesterday, after the Security Council meeting with the governor, to address the press on our outcome, and I told them that we are ready with all other security agencies now to enforce the presidential directive, but we are going to do it with human face.
Okay, sir. For the branded vehicles, can they move around?
It's still the same thing.
Okay.
So the fact that they are branded does not give automatic movement on the road. So there must be a letter saying that they are assigned to move on the road for a specific assignment. So we now say all branded vehicles to move on the road. They will be congested and the aim will be defeated. The basic aim is that people should be conscious that this coronavirus is real. And we need to collectively, as Mr. President said now, collectively make sure that we collaborate with all the agencies to stop the ravaging one.
Thank you very much, sir. That's the CP giving us update on how far the enforcement has gone.
All right, Ivy, this is a challenge as it is. We hope that corporate organizations are able to surmount this challenge. But thanks for bringing us updates on this.